right, here we go. Akon, welcome back. And you actually brought your new group, Sheesh.
Sheesh is in the building, baby.
Sheesh. Yeah.
What up?
Okay, and I gotta say, because you guys redid Ghetto Living, that's my favorite Akon song of all time.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
ours too.
Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly. I don't know if I've said this before in your presence.
This is my first time hearing that.
First I hear it, yeah, because I remember off that album, I remember I was telling the dude who ran Republic, I was like, yo, that's my favorite song.
That's what's up.
That's my joint right there. I was playing that over and over and over again. Because I feel like it wasn't as big as some of the other songs, but that
Right.
was artistically
Yeah.
my favorite song. And this was a song that you guys redid.
Yeah.
You guys got Akon's attention.
Yeah.
So how did this come together?
I mean, we was already signed, you know what I mean, to Big Bro. But me and my brother, we wanted to be creative. You know how a lot of artists sample other artists. We like, we signed to a legend. You know what I mean? We signed to an icon. Why we not sampling him?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I came up with the idea, bounced it, around with my brother. He loved it. I created the beat. We made the song. Let Khan hear it. He went crazy.
Okay, and you guys are from Chicago,
Born. Yep.
the West Side, but you guys moved to Indiana.
Yep.
Okay, and you guys started rapping at 8 years old?
Yep. I started rapping at.
You started rapping?
He
Yeah.
started rapping at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you guys got caught up when you guys were teenagers,
Yeah.
15 and 16?
Yep.
What happened?
Young and dumb. You know what I mean? Like just wilding, doing those stuff. We was rapping, you know what I mean, around the city, making a name for ourselves, but just wilding, man. We seen a lot of we seen murders when we was young, right? You know what I mean? In Chicago. And that's the reason my mom wanted to move from Chicago to Elkhart. You know what I mean? So we was just around a lot of trauma. And honestly, I ain't think I was gonna live that long. You know what I mean? Because I seen so much stuff. When my brother and my mom, we watched people get murdered. You know what I mean? Unfortunately.
In front of you.
In front of me. Like how you in front of me right now. You know what I mean?
So give me an example. What was that situation about when you saw it? I don't want you to name names.
No,
but
we were kids. We don't know what was going on. Yeah, we don't know.
just something happened and
Yeah.
suddenly, pow.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
and then, that affected me in ways to where it was like, damn, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm gonna live long, so let me just crash out, do dumb stuff. And unfortunately, I brought my brother along with me in certain situations, and we just got in trouble. You know what I mean?
Right, but this is juvie,
We were kids, though. We were kids. Yeah.
You guys went to juvie. Or
He
was
went to
this-
juvie.
You went to juvie, and then you went to adult
Yeah.
jail. Okay, how much time did you do?
I did 6 years and some change.
6 years.
Yeah.
So what'd you get convicted of?
Robberies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about the situation that actually put you in jail?
Nah, we just was wild and doing robberies. You know what I mean? Just it really ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Just
Okay.
And it wasn't even like we was poor or we struggled and stuff, but it's just we was just young and dumb, literally kids
Got it.
doing. Just that's it.
Well, at one point you guys moved to Atlanta, and that's when Akon actually found you guys.
Yeah. I moved to Atlanta first, and I moved my brother down.
Yeah.
All right. So Akon, what happened to actually put that together?
Actually, it was recommended. They was making some noise in the city. Songwriting, producing. L actually was an artist solo at the time, just rocking. And one of my friends, Bo, called, was like, yo, man, at the time he was the head of my A&R. He was like, yo, Con, you gotta hear this kid, bro. I'm telling you, out of here. He's monster. And sure enough, as soon as he played me the music, I was like, ooh, sheesh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he boys are proud. I need to pick him up right away. So me and L got super close. We used to always talk about his family ties and everything else. And a lot of his story kind of reminded me of myself on the struggle trying to get things going. And he would always say, man, look, my brother right now, he locked up. He just got released in a halfway house. But when he get out and he able to move around, I want to bring him to Atlanta so he can work with us. You know what I mean? And he was talking about Ski at the time. And I was like, all right. So when Ski finally got out, did his whole, his bid, came home, did an extra year in Elkhart, and then he was able to free to move around and travel. He came to Atlanta. And when I heard him, I was like, man, you wasn't lying. That nigga just as nice. So I was like, man, y'all need to just be a group. And y'all can always do solo projects later. Right now, I think if y'all introduce yourselves as a group, it's not only will it be stronger, but ain't nobody doing it right now. Like, There's no groups out there in hip hop no more. You know what I mean? And it just all made sense, man. It all made sense.
That's a fact.
Okay, were you guys called Sheesh at that moment?
Yeah, my first time meeting Akon, we figured all of it out right then and there.
Huh. Okay, so I mean, I'm familiar with the term Sheesh, but how did you guys use that as a group name?
When he heard the music, he said Sheesh. He
Oh
said
yeah, I named him.
Oh, you named it.
Yeah.
Like, sheesh.
Okay,
Yeah,
if you guys
that's
heard
good.
me, like, because with names sometimes sound weird until you actually
Cliche,
build
until you
something behind
understand.
the name.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
right.
Akon was a weird name until you got all these hits behind him, and then it's
100%.
like, okay,
Then it-
yeah, it's
yeah.
a household name.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
So, when you heard Sheesh, were you like, yeah, that's it? Or like, I don't know.
Nah, we was like, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah. That we ain't want no. Let's try. No, he was like, man, that's y'all name. Like Sheesh.
Okay, so you're signed to, was it Convict or is it
It's
Con
convict
Live?
culture.
What is it?
Convict culture.
Convict keeps changing names every few
Well,
years.
actually, so let me give you let me give you the spin on that. So originally it was convict culture. I mean convict music.
Right.
Right. Convict music was a turning point in my life, and me being in jail made me decide that I wanted to change my life in general, get into the music thing. So while I was locked up, I created convict music because that was like the turning point of where I am, where I was then, and where I'm going. And then it also reminded me where I never wanted to go back to again. But it also became a philanthropic type of brand because we would always bring cats that came out of jail with non-violent felonies or convictions, and utilize whatever that talent was, employ them or sign them as artists or whatever the case may be. So as time went on, we realized the movement got so big, got bigger than me. And then we got so involved into music that it became bigger than the music. It became more what actually shaped the culture. You know what I mean? Because I also always looked back at my career and how when I first came in, it was like I was like this R&B nigga that was singing about what rappers rapped about, which became like hard and B to an extent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of became industry standard as I started hearing other rappers come in with R&B and singing more edgier lyrics. So it literally is industry standard at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nate Dogg was the one that really kind of created that genre in a way.
I think that's kind of I wouldn't, because it wasn't a genre. Nate was just doing choruses.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, I'm saying. Well,
Yeah,
no, he had an
yeah.
album. He had an album out.
Yeah, but he was just doing
But
choruses.
really,
It
he was a
wasn't-
book guy. Yeah.
So I think it depends on how you perceive it to be. But for the most part, wait, when did Nate come out?
Oh man, early '90s.
Early '90s?
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, he was on the Chronic album.
He was on the Chronic album.
Right.
So he would get coined for that
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
Because I was young then.
Yeah, I know my hip hop. You know.
No, you definitely know.
No, I mean, listen, you obviously
No, you
done
definitely
incredible with
you
it.
definitely
But
know.
when you think about
Right.
singers, like singers who are really rapping,
Right.
their harmonies.
100%.
I don't know anyone before Nate Dogg that was doing that.
It wasn't nobody doing it before Nate.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, now you don't sound like Nate Dogg. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the
Yeah.
overall structure of it, where it was like, okay, like he's rapping, but he's singing.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope. I didn't even think about that, to be
Yeah.
honest, because I wasn't even listening to the West Coast music then.
Well, speaking of singers that we both know,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get your opinion on this. Sean Kingston.
I love Sean. That's my little brother, man.
I fuck with Sean too.
He just made
You actually did a song with him, You Girl.
Yeah.
Did you hear what just happened recently?
Nah.
Well, his mom was convicted.
Right.
She's
Are you
getting,
talking about with the
whole
furniture
scamming
stuff?
with the whole scamming thing.
Right.
Yeah. His mom was convicted. They scammed over $1 million, including jewelry, vehicles, TVs, furniture, everything.
That's
and
crazy.
his mom just got 5 years, and she's getting deported back
They
to.
sentenced her?
She just got sentenced. I think today or yesterday.
Interesting.
She got 5 years, and she's getting sent back to Jamaica. So she's getting deported.
Oh man.
He's awaiting his sentencing. He may get less because she was a repeat offender. She was already like in jail for scamming when he got signed.
Okay.
So I don't think he has a record like that.
Damn,
But
I didn't even know that.
I mean, and I know Sean. I mean, I don't know him,
Yeah,
but
good
we've done
kid,
interviews. I've been to his parties. We've chopped
He's
it
a
up.
good kid, super talented,
kid.
bro. Super talented.
Why do you think someone like a Sean Kingston, who has hit songs, has songs with Justin Bieber, has songs with you. You know, can do shows and so forth, goes this type of route and ends up getting locked up, pun intended, over really just trivial stuff. I feel 100-inch TV or 200-inch TV, you know, some more jewelry that you really don't need, an extra car when you already probably got a couple cars.
Man, it's hard to really answer questions like that because your upbringing and how you're moving. Because you got to think, he was always with his mom. He's a mama's boy, you know. So if his mom is moving in that direction, he's naturally going to follow suit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, I wouldn't want to answer for him because I don't know what was going on in their mind. But I just know in life when you go chasing materialistic things, nothing good comes from it. Because you can't take it with you when you die, and it's just really tokens to rub and feed your ego and really, because how many cars do you need? How many chains do you need? How many, you know what I mean?
This is coming from someone who's got a lot of cars and a lot of chains.
But I used to have a lot of cars. I used to have 30 cars, like
exactly.
supercars. But
you had your own gas station.
Yes, but
on
that
your
was
property.
That was a necessity.
Your own
I'm
gas
a celebrity.
station.
I can't be
y'all
out
don't
these-
even show up with their got a gas station. Who y'all know got a gas station at their house?
But I was into oil and gas.
At their house.
I was into oil and gas, and I wasn't the average Joe that could just be at anybody's gas station at any time of night, leaving the studio pumping gas. So that was for security.
Oh, you
too.
can't send your assistant to go pump your gas.
Hell
Okay.
nah, my
All right.
sister, she's a female. That's even worse.
Right, a male assistant would not possible. You're not talking your way out of this.
But yeah,
You're
I mean,
not
but
talking your way out of this.
But you gotta say at that time I can actually afford it, right? So
I'm not saying you can't.
right, but what I'm saying is there has to be a limit as to what is sensible and what is just frivolous. I got to that point where I realized a lot of my shit was frivolous. I was doing a lot of frivolous spending. That's why I dumbed myself all the way down, because I had to educate myself in the process too. And I learned, because when I got more spiritual with things and I started putting spirituality in front of my decisions, I started literally shed a lot of things around me. Because I realized it was like, what was the point of it? I'm just creating an environment for myself that creates me to create more safety around myself when I shouldn't even have to.
I mean, you said something interesting on a podcast about how rich people never go broke.
Right.
And I've been thinking like this for so long.
Yeah,
what
you
you
have.
said was exactly what I had been saying for a long time. So like, for example, like when I bought my house, I went to the bank and they gave me some stupid interest rate. And then I realized that I could do things like take out loans against my stock portfolio
Right.
at a tiny interest rate, and you don't even have to pay it back.
You ain't got to pay it back.
You just, if you don't pay it back, it just accumulates interest.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I realized I could take a shareholder loan for my company and so forth. And I ended up buying my whole house in cash,
Right.
with no mortgage. And a lot of people don't
All on
realize
credit.
that once you get, you know, because everyone, I think that in general, when you look at most middle-class families, they think a house is their key to financial freedom in the future.
Right.
And most times it's not.
Right.
Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not, because the way
Most
the
times it's
mortgages
not.
are laid out.
Exactly.
I've owned homes for 15 years, and when I sold them, I didn't really pay very much off them. I pretty much, you know, got back what I paid
put
for
in,
it.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you actually could build money, could build millions of dollars, and you have that type of, you know, wealth at your disposal, you're not going through banks. You're leveraging your money. And you said something interesting. You basically said you could borrow against your 10 million and then default on that loan. You'll have bad credit, but you'll still have your 10 million.
Oh, everything. What I realized about America is built on credit. So once you understand how credit works and you understand how money works, you can literally never go broke. Donald Trump is the best that ever did it. Think about it. He's been broke for how many years? But he's been a billionaire.
Yeah, he was bankrupt at one point.
Yeah, but still being able to move like a billionaire with billions, because guess what? Now you owe the establishment billions, and the establishment can't afford to lose those billions. So now that establishment becomes your establishment, because they got to keep you above the red line just so they can stay in a position where they can still continue to operate. And he took advantage.
Well, you and I have been talking about Akon City for a while.
Right.
And recently there was some news that essentially Senegal is abandoning Akon City.
Right.
Is that true?
That was the news.
What's the reality?
The reality is that Akon City is still happening.
Still gonna happen.
It's 100% happening.
100% gonna happen.
100% happening.
What year?
I can't tell you the year because it's a
Okay.
city, but it's a development that's gonna happen for as long as it possibly can, and I'm gonna try to stretch it out for as many acres as I possibly can as I'm alive, and hope that it continues to stretch even after I'm dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why are they reporting though that it's scrapped and they're taking the land back?
it's all propaganda. You know, I think Africa's been it's been in a position where it's like Africa's like waking up now. The younger generation has internet. They're seeing the values of Africa. They're seeing the values of what Africa has to offer to the rest of the world. And they're not as, you can say, easier to trick as our ancestors were. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of now getting and understanding their own power. And I think because Africa is one of the places that creates more millionaires in a year than anywhere in the world,
Really?
imagine if all those millionaires woke up, came together, united, and developed the country. See, confidence is one of the most powerful things on the planet. When people can believe that it's actually possible, it actually happens. So a project of mine that's that ambitious, that they say is too ambitious, and it needs to be dumbed down to some condominiums, is some bullshit.
Huh. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a city of that capacity is not only doable, but will happen. Of course, I'm gonna get a lot of resistance. I'm gonna get pressure from all sides. It's gonna be a lot of cyber warfare and information that's so, like, false information put out there just to kill the confidence to make people believe that something like this isn't possible. Because I know if something like this is actually physically done and it succeeds, the hold that they have on Africa will no longer be. And I think the powers that be is what's creating this opportunity for them to use the media to kind of discredit my project.
Look, I hope it happens. You know, I've always
That was
been,
gonna happen.
I've always been a fan of, you know, what you
Yeah.
do. You know,
I
the whole
appreciate
Lighting
that.
Africa project. How's that come along?
Which one?
Lighting Africa?
Oh yeah, that's still good. That's generational.
Okay.
Because we're in 16 countries.
Okay.
Like you on the utility level. So that can't go anywhere.
Have you guys been to Africa?
I ain't never been to Africa.
Nah?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Which part?
Senegal. He
Okay.
flew me- Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to
okay.
Senegal.
Yeah.
I remember
Beautiful.
the one thing I realized, this was like, that was the first African country I'd been to, right? I'd been
Yeah.
to like, you know, Egypt, like Northern Africa, but like a
Interesting.
real African country I went to was Senegal. This was right before 2000. And the one thing that instantly struck me was, as a white guy, and I was totally unknown,
Right.
as a white guy walking around, you realize right away that there's not this kind of underlying racial tension as you walk around the streets and meet people and so forth.
Right.
And growing up in America since I was 5 years old, I just assumed that's just how it was everywhere. And then when I went to Senegal, I realized, oh, this is some American shit.
Right.
This is the history of slavery and
Right.
racism. Because you go over to Senegal, they're not tripping off you.
At all.
They've been there for
Ever.
thousands of years. Their family goes back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They see like, hey, what's good? You know,
100%.
every one of the stores is Senegalese. The whole government is Senegalese. There's no, you know, I mean, you see the French influences.
Right.
You know, people, you know, they wear the French hats and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's
But
usually French influence there.
but I don't feel the colonialism in Senegal. Is that pretty accurate?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. I think the colonialism doesn't really show in the visits, and it doesn't really show in the people, but it shows in the status. Because
How so?
So, because when I see Africa, it's almost like it's almost like having a debit card with $1 million in it, but you're only allowed to take out $500 a day.
Oh,
That's Africa, the most richest continent on the planet, but you can only extract but so much if you're African. But if you're not African, the person that gave you that debit card can determine how much of that card can be used by you, and at any given moment, that card can shut down and you gotta walk back into the branch to apply for another one. Then you gotta get checked for credit, you gotta check for everything else. So much red tape that surrounds it because of the ties from the foreigners that actually took credit through contract without even being in Africa. Like it goes so historical to the point where you get dazzled and you get like exhausted just thinking about it, how entangled we are.
All right, for example, right, last year, the second biggest diamond ever
Right.
was found in Botswana.
Botswana, yeah.
2,492 carats.
Carats, yes.
2,492 carats.
Bro.
Okay? That chain that Khan is wearing ain't shit compared to what they found.
Nothing.
And guess what?
Ask you tell me what African got paid off of that diamond.
None, because it's a Canadian firm that owns the diamond mine.
That's my point.
That's
There
crazy.
you go. There you go.
That's my point.
Wow.
You probably gotta, here, have an extra couple of days off. Good job.
If that.
That's crazy.
I'll get back to work on Monday.
No, it's hard.
2,492 carats. Like what? This is like $1 billion diamond, essentially.
Easy. Yeah.
That's
The second biggest ever on Earth.
On Earth, bro.
that's
And a Canadian firm said, thanks, we'll be taking this for ourselves.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. We're going to renew your contracts next year to see if we can find another one of these.
Basically, yeah.
And that's that.
And that's
And is that typical in Africa where foreign companies essentially own a lot of the big manufacturing like that?
Yeah, and that's the reason why it's been so tough for Africa to develop, and it's so hard for the people to develop, because the Africa's been set in position to be so poor for so long. Even if they wanted to fight back, they would be fighting back with sticks and stones. Right? So then you have the foreigners coming in supplying weapons, grenades to certain villages, because you only have conflict when there's struggle happening, or when there's famine, or when there's fear to struggle, right? So as long as you can keep the side that interests you in a position to where they're comfortable, they're gonna fight to keep that comfort. So that's why you have so many civil wars all over Africa. When you got tribal wars going back and forth, they're all fighting for comfort when they shouldn't even have to, believe it or not. But they're in a position where there's no other way to survive.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's changing over time.
It's changing now.
It's changing.
Because a lot of the youngers are waking up. The young ones are going into politics. They're going into the military. They're going into understanding what it takes to actually run countries and what roles you have to play within the administration to actually make a difference and change. That's why you see a lot of these little young soldiers now becoming, major captains and taking over, cooing the president out, taking over the seats, just to reposition everybody there to make proper decisions so that people can benefit.
And you're really starting to see like Afrobeat becoming mainstream now.
Yeah.
Like the Burna Boys of the world. Like you've always been pushing this. You've always had the Wiz Kids and everything. But I feel like those guys were still like not accepted like in the US like that.
Right.
They were big, obviously, in Africa, big in parts of Europe and so forth, but the US, they never really cracked. I feel like these days, Afrobeats actually cracks
the
US charts.
It is.
Are you still got your hands on a lot of that?
Oh yeah, man, that's been a fight for mine since I got successful in entertainment. Because my goal was to try to pass this success on to all the other talented motherfuckers way talented than me in Africa that didn't get this, that.
But you always you've been one of these rare artists that's consistently been able to discover artists as big or even bigger than yourself. You see what I'm saying? Which I feel like a lot of artists, their ego won't let them do that.
Right. No,
I mean,
that's true.
he's cool, but I'm still trying to stay high.
Right.
So
right, right.
I'm gonna give him these whack beats, and he can do
That's
something
a
with
lot
it.
That happens a lot out here. I see
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm still I'm not that old. Like I still trying to be hot, but like T-Pain, Lady Gaga,
I mean, it goes on. French Montana. Thug, Jeezy. It goes on and on, man.
Do you feel bad about the fake watch that you gave?
Absolutely not.
No,
That was genuine.
You genuinely gave him a fake
That was
watch.
nigga. I got a fake watch too. I bought 2 that day. Don't forget. I had bought 2 that day.
You gave him one?
I gave him one. That was my guy. So I bought one. I bought one for him.
Did you know it was fake when you bought it?
No, I had no idea. I didn't even know there was a difference between a fake watch and a real watch. I just saw the watch and loved it. I didn't like.
Where did you buy it?
I bought it on Canal Street in New York.
You knew it was fake.
But no, but
Have y'all been to Canal Street, New York?
No,
you know what he's talking about?
Listen.
It's bootleg central.
But
it's
listen.
bootleg central. Everything on that street is fake.
You know that because you from New York. Well,
I lived in New York.
You lived in New York. I'm coming from I was coming from Miami.
Okay.
Coming in, and mind you, I'm still thinking with an African state of mind. We just know what we like. There's no such thing as brands and name brands at that time. In Africa, we just know what we like, we bought it. I'm not even knowing the difference. I'm not even knowing the names of these watches. I'm just knowing what I like. It looks nice. Okay, that's my homie. I'll get one for myself. I'm gonna get one for him.
Okay.
That shit was expensive.
How much was it?
$1,500.
About a fake
per watch.
You spent $3,000.
Nigga, before then I wouldn't spend past $250 on a watch. I would get a nice little swatch or a nice little, something nice.
Okay.
I wasn't into that. Like I didn't understand and learn about brands until I got money. That's when I knew the difference.
You had money back then.
Yeah, but I was still frugal.
You were not broke back then.
I was still frugal.
I knew you back then.
Yes, but I still wasn't into brands because I didn't grow up under brands.
Okay.
Like I didn't grow up under like the Louis and the Gucci's and the Hublots and all that. I didn't know about that. I just knew what I liked.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, remember you wore the fake Dior on Drink Champs?
Yeah, I was supporting my Africans. There you go.
The same Africans you bought the watches from?
No, I bought the watch. I bought the watch from the Chinese.
The Chinese. I've seen.
But ain't that crazy though, bro? Like how life is though. Like how our minds are perceived to think a certain way. It's like there's no difference in the quality outside of the name on it.
There's a difference in the quality.
It wasn't, bro. That Dior to me felt better than Dior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt way better.
I mean, I feel you. Some brands.
The material was better than everything.
I've had Louis Vuitton fall apart on me. Real Louis Vuitton.
Bro, yeah. I can't tell you how many Chanel bags I had to send to Chanel to get fixed. And it takes 3 months to come back because of the fucking Chanel piece comes off.
Listen, I have a Louis Vuitton, like a watch case, for like 3 watches.
Right.
The ends have fallen apart 2 times now. I've had to go back to Louis and they've had to like
How did we get here?
Yeah.
Like I'm still trying to figure that out.
Like
we've been bamboozled, B, to be honest.
We have. Well, your brother Boo used to manage Kanye.
Yeah.
At one point, one of the biggest icons in the world, both in music and fashion. When you look at Kanye these days, now he's not broke, but he can only perform in like China, South Korea, Brazil. Like all of Europe has essentially banned him. He can't even go to Australia. When you look at the whole thing with Kanye, like the whole Hail Hitler thing and the whole anti-Jew thing and so forth, what's your take on it?
I can't even have a take on Kanye.
Yeah?
It's Kanye. Like, he's the most unpredictable artist, outspoken, super creative. His journey is his journey. Only him can explain his journey, to be honest.
Have you worked with him directly?
Yeah.
You been in the studio with him?
I've worked with Kanye in the studio. I work with him in person. We have conversation.
What's different about Kanye in the studio?
In the studio, there's a certain level of passion that he actually has that I haven't seen in nobody. Like, he lives his art. And it's the best way to explain it. Like, he literally lives his art. And he has also a level of confidence that goes beyond human, like, understanding.
Oh, yeah. I've experienced it.
You have you?
Before, yeah. Like, I interviewed Kanye. I don't have the interview anymore.
Right.
But this is before he blew. He was in the studio with Common working on that album they worked on together, right?
Right.
There's a picture of, like, all 3 of us together. And I remember I'm interviewing him, and, like, actually, we're just talking. We're just talking about breakups, right? Just randomly, me, Kanye, and Common talking about breakups. I just broken up. Common just broke up with Erykah Badu, and Kanye just broken up with his girl. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, did you break up with her? Or did she break up with you? He's like, of course I broke up with her. A girl's crazy to break up with me. Like, I didn't even ask me that. That's just such an obvious thing. Like, look at me. And this is before he had his first hit song.
Uh-huh.
Like he played me slow jams in the studio that day.
Wow.
Which became, because Through the Wire was out, but that was
Right.
more of a kind of a underground kind of song.
Right.
Like Slow Jams was the first like hit. And this was before he had his first hit. And he was looking at me like, why? I remember I was thinking like he did Stand Up for Ludacris. He did the beat. I'm like, yeah, when I heard the beat, like you're the last person I thought because it's just so different from, your style.
Right.
He goes, well, if you hear a hot beat, I should be the first person you think about. And he was just dead serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was just so like, I'm the shit. And why don't you get it right now?
Right.
The whole world doesn't even know it yet.
Yes.
But I know it, and
it.
you should know it too.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you guys saw Kanye's antics, what did you guys think?
I feel how bro feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kanye.
Yeah, he
Now, you haven't sold your catalog like a lot of people have.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
You said what kind of catalog?
No, I said you haven't sold your catalog, and you see a lot of your peers selling it, particularly because a lot of these companies have been overbidding over the last few years. Right. And that's why a lot of people are selling, because it's like, damn, like they offered me 10 million 5 years ago. Now they're offering me 15. Fuck it. Let me just sell it.
I think your catalog should be, because I wouldn't come here and say I haven't sold my catalog. I sold a piece of it.
Oh, you sold a piece of it?
I sold a piece.
Okay.
The way I looked at it is, look at your catalog as the same way you look at your house, right? That's how I looked at it. If I can pull some equity out of my catalog to build Akon City, why not? That's what I did. I pulled equity out of my catalog to build my city.
Akon City.
Yes.
Okay.
The first seed investment came from a piece of my catalog.
Okay.
So it's all a part of the whole legendary thing that I'm building as far as what my legacy is to become. So the music helps to build the visual legacy that sticks around and never goes anywhere, whereas the music becomes the spiritual legacy that flows into every generation and movement. Because songs don't go anywhere, but when you got solid structures that complements you and you're no longer there, that tells a story for you.
Well, you said that you're going to re-record your whole catalog as country music?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know about this one.
I know.
I don't know about
a lot of people.
You my man. You know I fuck with you, like in a real way. Me and you are actually friends.
No,
like,
you my
I don't know about this one.
I love it though.
I don't know about this one.
But that's what motivates.
You can prove me wrong.
No. I'm not going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make it, and I'm going to watch you like it.
Okay. What do y'all think?
I think it's
Ghetto living country version.
Hey.
That should be hard.
It be the
You have one?
Hey,
Not yet.
It be what you least expect though.
Yep.
To be hard. You know what I mean? And people probably didn't think singing about being locked up would be hard.
True.
Back in those times. If you think about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who want to hear about singing about going through imprisonment or jail?
Well, I mean, rappers have been rapping about
But
jail.
singing about it. We talking about rapping
Okay,
and
fair
singing.
enough.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Fair enough.
you got to give it a chance, you know what I mean? Yep.
But I'm excited though. Yeah. I'm excited for you to hear it when it's done.
I want to hear it.
Because I on everything, when I'm done, you'll probably be the first urban blog that I'm gonna actually let review it.
Okay.
Because you gonna give me the real.
Yes, I will.
Let me ask you, do you like country?
Some of it, yeah. Like Zach
But
Bryan.
are you a fan
like
of country?
Like I guess like a Zach Bryan and some of these other dudes.
Yeah, because
like,
everybody
they're
got
on the charts.
because there's subgenres within country as well.
I understand.
So it would be an honor to hear you review that.
Yeah.
Because if you like it, then I did my job.
I just feel like when it comes to art, I feel like a lot of people are jumping on country because it's a hot genre for the first time in our lifetime. If you think about it, right? We've never seen country on the charts since like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
1,000%.
Right?
Now, can I give you a fun fact?
Go ahead.
This is gonna trip you out.
Let's go.
You know when I first did my album, the first Trouble album originally was written in country?
Huh?
Exactly. Did you know that my favorite genre on the planet was country and reggae, and that's all I listened to in Africa before I came to America.
So what's your favorite country song?
My favorite, I'm talking about in genre, period.
Okay, so
My
what's your
favorite
favorite,
genre.
like some of your favorite country music songs?
What do you mean, like my
You say it's your
favorite?
favorite genre.
That's my favorite genre.
So name
But
some
my,
of your top
my
songs.
handicap is also names. I be knowing songs, but I don't know
Okay,
titles.
all right.
I'm just being honest.
Okay,
Right.
fair enough.
But my favorite genre is country and reggae.
Right.
Was my favorite genre before I came to America and discovered hip hop.
Well, you guys have been in the studio with Akon
Yeah.
multiple times, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What is it that you learned from being in the studio with him?
Just for one, he give us, the freedom to create, pretty much do what we want, go where we want to go. You know what I'm saying? And, just be free with what we do, be great at what we do. He gives us the freedom to do whatever we want to do, and that's power, because a lot of guys ain't got that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Straight up.
I mean, it's like a brotherhood, you know what I mean? Like this big bro, he really like one of us, like for real, for real. Like a lot of people might be like, just he's a superstar, so he gonna act different. Like it's literally not, it's the total opposite, you know what I mean? Like we cracking jokes, we vibing, he might be like, hey man, this would be dope to do this, you know what I mean? Like, so it's all organic, for real, for real.
Oh, listen, I listened to, not only the Ghetto Living song, but I really went through a bunch of the catalog.
Yeah.
And you guys are dope.
Man, thank
I
you,
can
bro.
see it, and the problem is getting over that first hump,
Right.
right? Just having that hot, album that you and your friends all like,
Yeah.
that's on Spotify, but none of the songs are getting millions of views yet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it's that jump to get into the consciousness where people actually care what you're saying. And a lot of times it seems in hip hop, it goes beyond the music.
It does.
Like you look at like a Bloodhound Q50, for example, someone I've interviewed. Not everyone consider him the hottest rapper in terms of his rapping ability, but there's so much of a story behind him and Bloodhound Lil Jeff getting killed, and that whole, like, all the enigma around their lyrics, and people are picking stuff apart and wondering whether they're actually doing the murders they're talking about, that
Right.
he has this huge buzz more than just the music. But now he's going on tour and people are rocking with my man Lil Baby. I think he was part of signing him and so forth. So what's really the plan for people to really care about the music? Because it's not just the quality part, it's the consciousness, part.
Right. I think, when you look at Sheesh, they're no different from any group that comes on board with great talent and great music. What sets them apart is the fact that they're human. And the music is just a vehicle to get to all the aspirations that they're trying to get to. And I've noticed that oftentimes in the stage right here, no artist can answer that question because they don't even know where they're walking to. They don't even know where they're facing yet. They have to actually get into it, experience success, travel, experience the world. Then they find themselves within it and then become what it is they're going to become. Because I couldn't tell you right now, the day I dropped Locked Up, I would have never thought that I would be that same artist that would be a globally known superstar with energy company, building smart cities, crypto, fighting governments. I would have never thought that would be me. I thought it'd been great music, make some money, live life, keep putting out records, perform, go on stage. Everybody think about touring, yes, but it's so much that shapes you as a person when you're doing music on a certain level that it becomes something beyond something you could even never even imagine.
Well, and here's the thing also, because it wasn't at the same time, but like Vlad TV used to be based in SRC Records,
Right.
which is
Yep.
who signed you,
Yeah.
right? Steve Rifkin.
Yep.
So I was in the building for years getting to hear all the stories and everything else like that, because I used to be Loud Records, which is, Wu-Tang, Big Pun, 3-6 Mafia, and so forth. And I remember Gabi was telling me this one time, right? Who's Steve Rifkin's right-hand man. When SRC signed you and you had Locked Up, when it dropped, nobody cared,
Nobody cared.
right? Like this is me speaking from
It's
actual
real.
facts
This
here, right? This is not just me just
nobody
talking
cared.
shit.
You're right.
Nobody cared, but Steve Rifkin believed in the record.
He sure
believed
did.
in you as an artist.
Yep.
And he put you on a promo tour for like a year and a half.
Yep.
Until that record took off.
Yep.
And probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars.
He didn't spend that much.
No?
But he spent money.
Well, moving someone around, playing
One
tickets.
thing about Steve, the reason why Steve is so brilliant.
Okay.
He knows how to squeeze. No, listen to me. And I can say this, and he know, because everybody knows. This is why Steve is so fucking brilliant.
Okay.
That promo run that you was talking about, that took a whole year to run, Steve probably didn't spend more than 20 grand.
I mean, you were flying Spirit Airlines.
But he understood. No, we rented Yukon, Denali's.
Oh, you were actually
trucks.
driving?
We was driving from city to city.
You weren't even flying?
Because Steve was fighting to get money out of Universal. Steve would come out of his own pocket, give us money, and we was taking money and flipping it on the road to keep the shit moving.
Yeah. And
so he fought for me. Like, this is why to this day, man, Steve is my angel. Like, he did whatever it took by any means necessary to get me there.
And that's the thing that, like, a lot of people don't want to admit. Like, the situation that y'all are in, where you have someone like Akon that's willing to develop you guys, bankroll the studio sessions, get you in situations like this. Because, look, I'll be honest. If Sheesh approached me as just Sheesh, without Khan, I probably would have passed on the interview.
Yeah.
Right.
But the fact that he's sitting in on this interview made me say, okay, not because I have anything against y'all, I don't know y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I know him.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a relationship that goes back 20 years. Mm-hmm. And he knows. I mean, look, if Khan just called me and said, listen, as a favor, can you interview these guys? And I won't be there, I would still do it.
He would still do it.
I would still do it.
But out of respect for him, I wouldn't ask no favor out of him because I know how hard it took him to get here. So if just to show how much I appreciate him, and I know he could easily say, Khan, you know what, I'll do it, but I need at least 10 stacks.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I know, but there's some people out there that would do it.
No, I wouldn't.
But me knowing what it is, out of respect for him, I wouldn't bring y'all by yourself. I would come to show him how serious y'all are to me.
Right.
Right.
And all of that, but to make sure that he gets what he needs out of his investment at the same time while helping me help y'all.
Right.
You know what usually happens?
What?
I'll tell you a real story, right? Me and Millie's talked about this in our interview. You get people like Jadakiss, who will have like an artist, be like, yo, you know, his like assistant was like, yo, Jada wants you to interview these artists, you know, his new artist, and when he goes on his promo run, he got you. He'll go on his promo run, no responses. That's the type of shit that usually happens. Mm-hmm. They'll call in, be like, yo, just do this for me and I got you, and then they'll just forget about it and go on with their business. And then you're like, all right, well, fuck that artist then. You know what I mean? Fuck that artist and fuck whatever else this dude ever asked of me, because I remember what happened last time. It's like, nah, I'm gonna need mine up front.
Right.
You know? And the only people I've seen that actually go with their artists on promo runs, Jermaine Dupri did it, Boosie did it. I can't think of anybody else. Most CEOs do not take time out of their day to push their artists the way he's doing it right now.
Yeah, you already know.
It's just rare.
Sure. Yeah,
it just rarely ever happens. There's usually like, oh, yo, I got you, or, you know, or do this, and, you know, there's some sort of thing involved, and most times the artist just doesn't get that promo that they need early on.
Yeah. We grateful for it, because we understand it, you know what I mean?
That's why we work hard.
Yeah.
You know, we try to keep our feet moving.
Yeah, we don't take it for granted either. Yeah, head on the swivel.
Are you guys signed to a major label under Akon, or is it just
Yes,
Akon,
it's straight convict culture.
Do you plan on signing them to another label or no?
It all depends, but right now we're moving pretty strong. Everything I'm doing I'm the only independent label that's on the you could say the right. So Media Base have this label share that they do every year, right? On it, you have all the majors from Universal, Capitol, Warner, Sony. Convict Culture was the only independent label on that list.
Really?
Yeah. This year, 2025.
Are you still signed to a label?
No,
You're totally independent.
everything that you're seeing right now is all strictly Convict
Right, because
Culture.
it used to be SRC Universal, but then that's been done
Yep,
for
now it's
a
all
while.
me. Yep.
You know, as someone that's really been in the major label system for a long time, in Universal in
Right.
particular, do you think that Drake has a chance of winning that lawsuit against Universal?
I don't know what the lawsuit is, so I couldn't really comment on it. I just know
Well, I could tell you,
Right.
he claims that Universal pushed Not Like Us with a false narrative and used bots and so forth, and he's suing for that. That's the overall lawsuit.
he's suing Universal for that.
Yeah, because they're saying that they pushed that.
But they push all their
They push his shit
they
also.
push all. I mean, they push.
That's what I'm saying.
They push every artist.
It's a weird lawsuit.
Right.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, any artist that's bringing in major millions to keep the lights on and continue to, to keep their market share at a certain level, they're gonna push to the max. So they're gonna push Kendrick as much as they're gonna push Drake. If they're going head to head, they're gonna push them equally. I just believe that Kendrick caught a record that was culturally relevant
Oh yeah.
at this time. I don't think Universal had anything to do with the success of the record specifically, because that record, like when you have a record that speaks to a culture, it's hard to beat that. Now, mind you, I love Drake. Like everybody tell you, Drake is one of my favorite artists. I love Drake, right? So the record though had nothing to do with him as an artist. It had to do with who said it and when he said it, and then the culture and what they were feeling at that moment. So it's variables of all those things that creates a momentum for a record like that to go. Because I promise you, the kind of money that was put on Drake wasn't put on like Not Like Us. What pushed Not Like Us was the people, bro. It wasn't money.
Oh yeah, no, it just took off.
It
became an anthem.
It was the people. That's what I'm saying. You can put billions against people, and them billions are gonna get tossed in the trash.
True.
So I think it should have been thought out a little bit more, because the relationship that is gonna be necessary to keep Drake sustainable might be, affected by this lawsuit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said that 40% of hip hop deaths are caused by rap battles.
40% of what?
Hip hop deaths are caused by rap
deaths?
battles.
Yeah, it's caused by rap battles.
Now, look, I did a list this one time because people kept asking me about it. I've interviewed 21 rappers that were killed violently.
Wow.
Yeah. Jimmy Wapo, Doe B, E.B. Bands, Jay the Youngin, BTB Savage, FBG Duck, Fulio, Mo3, Draco the Ruler, Takeoff, Chinks Drugs, E-Day 600, Big Low, Slim 400, Nipsey Hussle, Young Greatness, who you worked with, Lotto Savage, Snooty Wild, Young Dolph, The Jacket, and Gonzo. Youngest was 21, oldest was 45. All of them were shot except for Draco, who was stabbed. And yeah, man, it was crazy. And Young Greatness, he was signed to
He
you,
signed
right?
me as well too, yeah.
We did an interview with him.
QC.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, "Yeah, I know I got a lot of beef in my city." This was New Orleans, I think.
Yeah, New Orleans.
He goes, "But I don't care. Like, if I die, then I die. They're not going to tell me when I can come back to my city or not." And he died going back to the city.
Yep.
You shouldn't fear no man but God. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not letting nobody, run me from, my family. And my family's in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a dummy, and I'm not ignorant. But if I have to go see my kids, and I have to go see my auntie, or I have to go see my grandmother or my mother, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care who's saying what or who's saying they're gonna do what. Well, I'm gonna have to die going out brave, and that's just what it is. Before I let somebody make me, change how I'm living. It ain't happening like that. That's just what it is.
When you heard that news, how'd you feel?
No, I was heartbroken because he was like my little brother. You know, he was actually signed to QC, but Convict managed him.
Oh.
Yeah, it was one of those. You know, that was P and P and Coach's artist, but it was he was like family, like literally like family. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it's the mistake that a lot of artists kind of make that came from humble beginnings or came from the hood, and they kind of miscalculate the jealousy and miscalculate the struggle after being presented a more, you know, in a more comfortable environment. You know what I mean? Because what happens is, once you become that target, you actually are a target. Once you become successful and you come from the area that's, you know, impoverished, as much as people love you, there's a few out there that actually hate you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you be surrounded by so much love that sometimes you overlook the same nigga that's hugging you that you think is love may be the same one that's plotting on you.
Well, yeah. I mean, the people that will hate you the most, the people you actually know.
And believe it or not, the ones that always get you are the ones that's closest to you that
Always.
has access to you.
Always. Always. It's funny because your man Suge Knight said that. You know? I'm being facetious. But yeah, he said that you got to worry about your friends more so than your enemies because your friend can't borrow your car. No, your enemy can't borrow your car.
Right.
Your enemy can't go into your house.
Right.
Your enemy's not going to sit at your table. Your friends are all those people that are all close to you. And I'll be honest, like the most damage that was done to me in my life was from people who I was the closest to.
Right.
All my so-called internet beefs, like the Joe Buttons, you know, who I'm cool with now, but all these people who I beefed with publicly over the years, they really didn't do shit. At the end of the day, they didn't do anything. It was just words back and forth.
Right.
You know, it was internet chatter. But the people that I actually lost money on and really hurt me, those were people who I was the closest to.
Yeah.
I mean, what's y'all's take on internet beef? Because you guys are about to be in an arena where people are going to be like, fuck Sheesh.
Oh yeah, we expect it.
I ain't doing no tripping on none of that.
Yeah, and we ain't going back and forth with none of that. We ain't yelling on no phones. You hear it here first. You know what I mean? We ain't, you know, because that's just the world we live in. You could be working a 9 to 5. Respect to all the people that work 9 to 5s. There's people that hate on people because they got a raise. You know what I mean? There's somebody at that job literally mad because somebody got a raise because they was working harder than them. So you get what I mean? So we ain't worried about no hate. People gonna talk, people gonna gossip. You know what I mean? We got a different mindset. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if a known rapper dissed y'all on a song or dissed y'all on social media, how would you react?
I mean, it all depends really. But we ain't looking for no clout. You get what I mean?
Understand that.
Like that's a drug for real.
Well, yeah,
I don't
especially
do drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
but for example, like coming from Chicago, so much of the energy behind Chicago was over the street beef.
Yeah.
Like you take out all the GD, BD underlying tension behind the music, and I don't think Chicago would have done what it did.
That's real.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
Not to say there's not dope rappers in Chicago.
Because there's talent there for sure, but yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right? The Twisters of the world, the Kanye's of the world, they came up before all this stuff and didn't incorporate it. But then Chief Keef came out.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh.
Right.
And then like people started getting killed around some of the stuff he's saying in the songs. And people like, oh.
It got real quick.
Oh. The FBG Ducks of the world who I interviewed.
Yeah. Who
did songs like Dead Bitches and then get killed shortly afterwards. Just the whole like, look, I used to, it's funny, there's a video of me and Boosie joking around about this because it's like, okay, look, Chicago started dissing dead people, putting people in packs and so forth, smoking a so-and-so pack.
Right.
Jacksonville took it one step further.
Right.
The Fulios of the world, another person who I interviewed, who I kept saying like, please just move out of Florida.
Right.
Start doing music videos in cemeteries, holding up pictures of his dead enemies, some of which are teenagers in cemeteries. There's a video of me and Boosie joking around. I said, yo, I think the next, like, people have already gone this far. I think the next step is someone's going to dig up one of their enemies and make a video with like a corpse.
Crazy.
And just recently, someone blew up a fucking gravesite.
What?
Yeah, that's an actual story.
Yeah,
Everyone's tagging me in this thing. Someone literally.
That's satanic, bro.
Had
When you start going there.
Put like bombs or something, blew up a damn gravesite.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Of some dude that died a while back.
That's just unbelievable.
You know?
Well, our energy is different.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't, the energy is in the music. You know, you're not gonna get that type of energy from the music necessarily, you know what I'm saying? So it's about what we dishing out at the same time, and it ain't that energy, you know what I'm saying? We ain't looking for nothing but love and blessings, and we ready to run it up.
And how we feel, just to top off what my brother saying, we didn't came too far.
Yeah,
like for real, in real life, like to be, we ain't here to beef with nobody, you know what I mean? We men at the same time, you know what I mean? We gonna stand on our own, cause that's how we was raised. But we got too many people depending on us to jeopardize our success about some beef. When y'all should be worried about feeding y'all family too, because y'all probably got, you know what I mean? We got mamas, we got kids, we got, you know what I mean? So it's like all that rah-rah shit on the internet, that don't mean none to us because we got too much to lose. Period. You know what I mean?
Well, Akon, you said that streaming doesn't really make sense at all, and you think that a new music model will go back to artists selling actually physical music?
Yeah, I think selling music is gonna come back. It may not be physical, but I think we're in that stage where eventually music will be exchanged with real money again.
Okay, I mean, but most big artists put out vinyl now.
Right.
But that's not really a big percentage.
It's just collectible.
Right.
But it's a start.
I had read that like 70% of people who buy vinyl don't even own record players.
It's true. That's why I said it's a collectible.
You know what I'm saying? They just want to put it up like, ooh, yeah. I'm old school. Like,
yeah, it's a collectible.
Okay, because like, for example, you have billions of streams.
Right.
Do you feel like you're compensated properly?
Nope. I wish I could just make $1 for every stream.
That's insane. I wish I could make $1 for every YouTube view.
It ain't insane. It's insane because it's not happening, but it's not insane.
It's a little bit insane.
It's not insane.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work because we just, all right, let's just say we go against the establishment, which would never work. Going against never works. You're 100% correct.
Okay.
But there has to be a model that sets a specific dollar amount to shares, streams, and content in general that navigates through the internet. Because right now the internet is so wide open. There's so many songs, there's so much shit happening with every different platform, so many shares is happening that you can't quantify it. Now, AI may come on board and create a system that allows you to monetize all of that, but even that eventually is gonna get bought out by the people that actually push the content out. You understand what I'm saying? So it's never gonna be a fair playing field when you're talking about digital when it comes to content creators, artists, and performers, unless you actually paying for it. Does that make sense?
Well, here's what happened, because I talked to a lot of the OGs in this music game. If you look at, for example, the 90s, right? People were buying CDs for $15.
Right.
And yes, the record companies took their cut, but artists made a lot of money off selling albums. A lot. MC Hammer became wealthy because when Can't Touch This came out, he refused to put it out as a single. You had to buy the album.
Right.
So people would buy this whole $16 album to get one song, and he got rich.
Yep.
Right? And because of that, when artists would go on tour, they wouldn't charge that much.
Right.
Because they were making so much money off the album sales that they could,
and then they give the people the experience.
Yeah,
they
just want to give people the
experience
because they're already rich and everything cool.
Right.
But once digital
now it's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Now you got
to pay thousands for a ticket.
I heard like Glorilla makes like $100,000 a show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lotto makes like $250 a show. Like these artists who are viable artists are getting insane amounts of money for the shows. So I think that's what it kind of settled at. Like, okay,
Right.
we're not making the streaming money, but our show money is killing it.
No, 100%.
Like what was the most you ever made off one show?
I'm getting 1.2 a show.
1.2 million a show.
Yeah.
Is that the most you've ever gotten for a show?
I got private gates with more.
How much you get for a private gig?
You trying to get me robbed, Flash?
Trying to get you robbed. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Dang.
just know if a promoter called me, he's gonna pay me $1 million.
That's crazy.
It's not.
I'm happy for you.
Shit,
I'm happy.
they robbed me in streaming. I gotta make it back.
No, I feel like, no, listen, if you could pull the crowd.
Listen,
to make that back.
Gaga making 4.5 million a show.
Lady Gaga
She makes
makes 4.5.
4 million a show.
Who's the most you've ever heard of getting for one show?
Shit, Beyonce got, I think, like close to $40 million for one show in Dubai.
Oh, I
You
stayed
remember
at the
that?
hotel.
Some shit like that.
The
Yeah, the hotel.
Atlantis
The
Royale.
Atlantis, yeah.
The Atlantis Royale.
It was
Yeah, I
somewhere
stayed at that hotel.
yeah, I mean,
Incredible hotel.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, artists build their rapport to be able to make like magical moments that you can't even put a dollar amount on, to be honest. You know what I mean? Some things are just history. Like, that's historical. That's only gonna happen one time. But they're gonna share it 1 billion times and make it all back in advertisement.
Yeah.
So it works. It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah,
That one
man.
show that you think is a lot of money in $1 million, man, they gonna probably license that off to Netflix and make 10 million off of it.
Man, listen, I'm happy.
You
My
know?
homie making 1.2 million a show, you know, because I remember I met you with Baby Bash
Right, yep.
doing what was
My
that
man
song?
Bash.
Yeah. Baby, I'm back.
Yep.
You know, that's how I met you. We were doing interviews on my DVDs.
Yeah.
You know, when you were doing that music video, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and I was holding the camera.
Right.
And, you know, listen,
You
I mean,
came
you
a
were.
long way, Vlad.
No,
I'm
man,
proud of
we
you,
both
man.
have. We both have. To go from that to we're both good.
Right.
You know, we don't
That
have
part.
to worry about nothing. We can have as many kids as we want. It
You know
don't
what I'm
matter.
saying?
You got more than me, but
I
I'm trying to
sure
catch
do.
up. Trying to catch up. But you know, y'all see how far I go back with Con, man.
Yeah,
and
man, that's my
it's a
dog.
real genuine relationship. So
Yeah.
when he called me and said, "Yo, I got this new group," I'm like, "Absolutely, man. Absolutely."
Appreciate it.
Even if he wasn't there as a favor, I would have done it anyways. But the fact that he's there, I feel, because look, at the end of the day, I think Akon understands that I could do an interview with y'all on my platform, but it won't really do the numbers if he's not sitting there
Right.
co-signing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll still do it.
Yeah.
I would never charge him $10K for nothing.
Yeah.
That's not when he
But I would
brought
pay
that
you.
up.
You're worth it. I would pay you.
I'm worth it, but I wouldn't do it because if you ever charge me to do an interview, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? As much as you know, as big of an audience you have, nah, I don't do that shit. Like, you know, if you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. So the fact that he's sitting in is gonna bring way more attention. Even on the clips that you guys aren't talking, people gonna be like, "Oh, who are these other two guys?" Let
Right.
me go,
Absolutely.
Let me go look
And
them
that's
up.
what we want too. We want that as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's really taking it. You know, someone gets 1.2 million a show.
Nah, for
There's
real.
a whole lot of other shit he could be doing right now.
Absolutely. Nah, for real.
That's paying a whole lot more than this.
Nah, for
Because
real.
no one's getting paid right here.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's dope, man. And whenever you know, and look, like no one bats 100. You know what I mean?
That's real.
Everyone, music industry is fickle, man. And a lot of times, music industry success is not even based on the artistry.
Right.
It's based on what's happening in the world that
That's
day.
it.
You
It's
know,
time.
if on 9/11, I remember I heard about this. This was interesting. When 9/11 happened, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 launched their big reunion tour, and nobody cared
Because
because 9/11 had just happened.
Yep. Yep.
No one was trying to go to these shows.
Right. They
The
was
whole country was
scared to
mourning. No one's trying to party.
right.
That whole tour flopped.
Mourning and scared
And
to
it's
death.
Michael Jackson.
It's Michael
It's
Jackson.
Michael Jackson, who you worked with, by the way.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's just like the whole thing is like you just got to create art for yourself and trust that over time people kind of get it. And sometimes it takes a while. It takes multiple projects. It takes someone believing in you and really investing the same way that Steve Rifkin believed in Akon. Because, you know, it's not promised. Because Khan could have been like, my album flopped, the label dropped me, I got to go back and start, you know, stealing cars again. You know what I mean? Which is what your world was before then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And then end up going back to jail, and no one would have ever heard you, but you had someone like Steve that actually believed in the project and actually had the power to move the needles.
Right.
Because he has such a track record of having the ability. I mean, it's one thing to sign Akon now. It's like, okay, he's got the catalog and so forth, but to sign a brand new artist that nobody has ever heard of. And you saw Steve do it with Wu-Tang, Big Pun, 3 6 Mafia, Exhibit, you know, David Banner,
myself. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it goes on and on and on. To break a new artist is almost impossible, but he's done it. And then you saw Akon do it with the Lady Gagas and the T-Pains and everything else like that. And like, you look at a T-Pain.
And Sheesh, too.
And Sheesh.
Yeah,
Sheesh,
about to happen.
It's potentially going to be the next one, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? And, you know, I wish y'all all the best, man. And, you know, I just want to, you know, see this journey as it progresses, man. And
appreciate you.
Wish y'all,
you know,
wish y'all all the...
Let's shout out our mixtape, too, man. Air Mattress.
Air Mattress?
Air Mattress is out right now. Just because it represent the struggle and it represent transition. You know what I mean? A lot of times, we didn't came from places where we had to sleep on a pallet. Then we sleep on the air mattress. Then you get a bed. Then you get a new apartment. You know what I mean? And air mattresses, they blow up off of the flow, right? When you plug them in, they blow up off the flow. We blowing up off of our flow. You know what I mean? So it's from the ground up. So it's symbolic. Our brothers, SP and E White, they produced it in press play.
Okay.
You know what I mean? As well as a couple beats for myself. So gotta shout our brothers out for sure.
Hey, man, listen, y'all in good hands?
Great hands, man.
Great hands.
This our big brother.
If anyone could get y'all there, the man next to you, I sincerely feel can, man. So appreciate y'all coming in. Akon,
appreciate you too.
Man,
you already know what it is, man.
Until
next time.
Yes,
Peace, sir.
Peace.